everyone, welcome back to the English class. Today we're going to talk about past simple of the verb to be. First, we're going to listen to a conversation between Granny and John, so focus on what they are talking about.
Oh dear, where are my glasses?
I don't know, Granny. Where were you yesterday morning?
Yesterday morning I was at the doctor's and my glasses were definitely in my bag.
Right. Where were you yesterday afternoon?
I was at the ice rink.
The ice rink?
Yes, ice skating with my friend Dorothy. My glasses were in my bag, I'm sure. Then later we were at the Crazy Club.
The Crazy Club?
Yes, for the hip-hop dancing, dear.
And did you have your glasses then, Granny?
Oh, no, dear. I never wear my glasses when I go dancing. They make me look like a granny.
Okay, so you heard the conversation and it's most of the sentences are in past simple. Past simple is used when we talk about an action that is finished in the past. So the action happened in the past once or several times, or something that was true in the past. For example, I was here last year, or I went to school 5 times a week, or I met her for the first time in 2008. So these sentences are in past simple, and you can see the words in red. The words are verbs that are in past simple. We're going to go through affirmative, negative, and question form of the past simple of the verb to be. In affirmative form, we've got the sentences there. Spaceship was Apollo 11 and they were American astronauts. You can see the verb was and were. It's the past form of to be. The negative form, it wasn't or was not Apollo 10, or they weren't or were not Russian. And the questions, was he the first man on the moon? Or were they astronauts? Yes, he was. No, he wasn't. Yes, they were. No, they weren't. So you can see to the question form, we switch places of the subject with the verb. So the verb comes in the first position and the pronoun, in this case, comes in the second one. We also have there was or there were. There was a TV program about it, and were there 2 astronauts, the question form, the second, and the answer there, the negative form, there wasn't a radio program about it, and yes, there were, or no, there weren't. We will go through some exercises using was, wasn't, or were, weren't. Last weekend, my parents and I were in London. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't very good, but it was a good weekend. Our hotel was in the center of the city. There was a lot of traffic in the streets, but there wasn't any noise in our room. We were only there for one night, but we were in London from early Saturday morning until late Sunday evening. On Saturday evening, we were in a restaurant near the river and Daniel Radcliffe was there. He was with some friends, but unfortunately, Emma Watson wasn't with him. When we talk in past simple, we use adverbial phrases too, to say when the event happened. Adverbial phrases are yesterday, yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, or last night, last week, last month, last year, or last Monday, or last July. We have some more exercises with yesterday and last, the two of them adverbial phrases. I was out last night, the first one. The second, what do you think? Shall we put yesterday or last Friday? Where were you last Friday? The third one, we were at school yesterday afternoon. The fourth one, I saw Peter yesterday evening. Fifth one, I was in year 10 last year. And the last one, were you at home yesterday morning? We're going to do some more exercises using was, wasn't, and were, weren't. As we said before, was and wasn't is used for singular sentences, and were and weren't for plural. You've got the names of the people in one side: Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Walt Disney, John Lennon, Elvis Presley, Shakespeare, Maria Curie, Leonardo da Vinci, and Michelangelo. And you have got the jobs: astronauts, sportmen, director, politician, football players, singers, doctor, writer, scientists, musician, artists, and actors. So let's start writing sentences for each one, using the jobs, of course. Positive sentences and negative ones. Starting from the first one, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were astronauts. They weren't sportsmen. The second one, Walt Disney. Walt Disney was a director. He wasn't a politician. Third, John Lennon and Elvis Presley. John Lennon and Elvis Presley weren't football players. They were singers. Fourth one, Shakespeare. Shakespeare wasn't a doctor. He was a writer. The fifth one, Maria Curie. Maria Curie was a scientist. She wasn't a musician. And the last one, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. What do you think? Were they artists or actors? Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo were artists. They weren't actors. Now we're going to make questions for a quiz with was and where. Then we're going to choose the right answer from the box. You've got the box with the answers. It's in 1789, a British rock group in London, a ship, a spaceship, and US president. Starting from the first one, you've got the words from the first to the sixth one. Let's make questions for each one. The first one. What were Voyager 2 and Luna 1? First. They were spaceships. The second. Who and the Beatles? Who were the Beatles? They were a British rock group. The third. Where were the Olympic Games in 2012? They were in London. The fourth one. When was the French Revolution? What do you think? When? It was in 1789. Next one. What was the Titanic? It was a ship. And the last one. Who were George Washington and Abraham Lincoln? What's left? They were US presidents. And as homework, you're going to work on your workbook, page 32 and 33, exercise 4, 5, and 6. And from your student's book, page 105, you're going to read the information. So it's Jeff's parents were angry because at Jeff's party, someone was on their computer in their study. Read the information and find out who was the person in their study. This is all for today. See you in the next class.